Jojo here. Welcome back to our channel. Before we get started, click the subscribe button, turn on notifications, give me his thumbs up.
What's up, people?
What's up, YouTube?
This is Teddy's house. This segment we're starting is called Teddy Talk, kind of like pillow talk. My name is DC Teddy. This is my lovely sugar bear, my wife. We've been married for 17 years. I know, round of applause. 17 long years. Long, beautiful years, though, right?
Wonderful.
She lying. All right, so the idea of this is we want to talk about some issues about marriage. You know, we've been married 10 years. We've never had a breakup. We've had our disputes, our arguments down through the years, but we've never broke up. You know, we have 4 beautiful children. 4. So we just want to talk about marriage. So we have a couple questions right here. And if you have any questions, you know, put them in the comment section on the next Teddy Talk. We'll get to them. All right. So first question is, I got the questions, right? She ain't do nothing. All right. First question is, how do you make a marriage last? Ooh. You should know.
Communication. Communication is the main thing of making a marriage work. No secrets. Always talking to each other.
I'm just making sure I ain't got no secrets.
Oh, you thinking? Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm just playing. You know, I'm transparent. Look, guys, when it comes to that, my wife have all the passwords to my cell phone, to my computer, to everything. If I got a code on something, she know it. No, I ain't thinking
about it.
No, I ain't
You
thinking
gotta
about
make
it.
sure I got all of them.
No. All right, so what else? What else besides communication? Transparency.
Can't be selfish.
Ooh, you know, now that's one of my big things.
Can't be selfish. Gotta think about each other.
I always say there's no room for selfishness in a marriage, right? Because I believe the way marriage is supposed to work is, if I spend all my time making sure her needs are met, and she spends all her time making sure my needs are met, then we'll all have our needs met. And see, a lot of times when we talk to marriage, because we used to counsel quite a few marriages, when we talk to marriages, we find that every problem that a marriage goes through is always got to do with selfishness. You know, it's always I. It's what I did, what I'm going through, how you make me feel, and me this, and me that, and me this, and me that. And sometimes people don't understand, you know, if you always concerned about yourself and how you feel, then you're not going to be able to make it. You know what I mean? And I understand that sometimes it's hard because you might be the type of person that think about your mate, and a lot of times your mate don't think about you. You know what I mean? So that's when you have these table talks, these discussions, you know, and bring that subject matter up. Is there anything else? You know, I feel like if you're not selfish, you know what I'm saying, you light years ahead of the game. You know, if you can get rid of the I and me and all this other stuff, you know. One of the things that we did to eliminate the selfishness is we combine our finances. We have like a melting pot. It don't matter how much money I make, it don't matter how much money she make. When it comes into this house and when we make our money goes into one pot that belongs to the family. You know, I think for me, that's what I'm gonna say besides selfishness, is that the way you make a marriage work is you have to be family oriented. Like everything has got to be about the family. You know, every decision that I make, I'm going to put myself last, right? I'm going to put the family first, because everything that I do is all about progression for the family. You know what I'm saying? Like we're on this big, really focus on business right now. You know what I mean? On how to obtain wealth and how to become wealthy. Not just become rich, but become wealthy. You know, and what we're doing is we're creating multiple streams of income. You know what I mean? So she's got a certain amount of streams that she need to bring in. I have a certain amount of streams of income that I need to bring in order to elevate our family to a position of wealth where we can have generational wealth. You know what I mean? But all that stems from the family mentality or the tribal mentality. You know, we're a tribe, we're a family. It's all about, you know, the family, not about me. Right? Anything else you want to talk about? All right, so I know we talked about money there, but we're gonna leave money for a whole nother episode. Like that thing right there go deep. All right, so why do you think marriages fail? That's a good one. You want me to answer it? I think most marriages fail because the people that are getting married have no idea what it takes in order to be, be married, in order to keep that thing together. I think most people come from broken families, broken homes, broken situations, and they haven't taken the time to heal the hurt, the pain, and the frustration that they have inside of themselves first, much less trying to bring it together. So you have the man that's frustrated and going through his struggles and stuff and the things that he saw growing up, and the neglect and what was considered what a man should do when he grew up. Then you have the woman with the same, identity in the same situation where she thinking these certain things that she think, growing up, and she has her heartbreaks and her frustrations and her letdown. And then when you bring it together, all you're doing is bringing two terrible situations together. So it's nothing but a recipe for disaster. So I think if people take time out to heal themselves and get themselves straight first, then they can bring together and have a positive and successful unity. That's just my opinion. But I don't like to talk first because when I answer first, you kind of just piggyback, man. So
that's what I'm supposed to do. Sounds good.
So why? Okay, let me ask to you. Let me ask it like this. In the previous relationships that you've dealt with, your girlfriends or whatever, your people you talk to, what seemed to be the number one root of why they always having problems in their relationship? What do women complain about the most?
Time. Spending time.
Quality time.
Yep. Time. Basically, time.
Most women complain about time, not finances. You don't find that?
Not as much as he won't spend time with me.
Yeah.
He's always want to spend time with his friends, or he want to play the game, or.
Well, hold up, fellas.
Time.
These video games, look, y'all don't have, y'all ain't got no help with me on the video game, because I stopped playing video games many years ago, because I'm gonna be honest, for me, it's like the time I could be spending on the video games, I could be working on my music, I could be working on another business, I could be doing something, for my family, there's so many other positive things that I can do, in order to put my family in a better position, because there again, it's all about the family, So my wife will tell you, when I go to work for 8 hours. When I come home, I might give me a bite to eat, but I'm right back to work. I'm either working on music, I'm working on editing, I'm working on something, until pretty much to the time I go to bed, just about. I might watch 30 minutes. I might watch 30 minutes worth of TV, during the week. So I understand what she's saying about as far as quality time, but I try to give that on the weekend. When I don't have to work all day, I'll get up early in the morning and I'll work on my music while everybody's asleep, or work on, my little business stuff I need to do while everyone's asleep. That way when they get up and start moving around, I'm free to be able to go and spend time with the family. But video games, man, I find out I don't have enough time in the day just to handle my business. You know what I'm saying? Much less play video games, but to each his own. What? Alright, I feel like I'm controlling this conversation.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Doing good.
Alright, so check this out. I looked out for the ladies on that question. Here go the men's question, and I hear this all the time. So I'm gonna ask you, how important is sex and intimacy in a relationship, in a marriage? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a difference between sex and intimacy. I couldn't get it out. Difference between sex and intimacy. They're similar, but they're different. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're different for each spouse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sex for me is really intimacy. But sex for you may not be intimacy all the time, right? Alright, so how important is it? When you talk to other females, and even in your own personal thing, you know what I'm saying? How important is sex?
It's very important in a marriage. It's one of the top rated things that can hurt a marriage. Sex.
For the woman or for the man?
Mostly for the man.
Okay. You know what I'm saying? I feel like but I want to hear a woman's perspective. I'm going to handle the men's perspective. Right? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and tell.
For the woman's perspective, sometimes they tired and don't want to do it and got all this going on, kids,
I feel like you're giving me excuses. You know what I'm saying? But check this out, though. To hold the men down, because I know the men going to say this. Well, we be tired, too. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like getting up, going to work in the morning. I don't feel like, Because, you know, a lot of men look at it like this. That's the woman's responsibility to make sure he's taken care of in that department. And I tend to agree. You know what I'm saying? It is her responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Within reason. You know what I'm saying? Because there again, it's about the family, right? So saying you're tired all the time is not a good excuse for me, because I have to get up and go to work in the morning when I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I could be in work 12, 13, 14. I generally work 15 to 16 hours a day between my job and my own business. And if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and something go rumbling in the night, I can't say, oh man, I'm too tired, baby. Just, could you go do it this time? No, that ain't gonna work. You see what I'm saying? Because it's our responsibility as a man to protect the home. It's our responsibility as a man to provide for the home. Now I understand women are gonna say, well, I have to work too. I understand that. So there should be a compromise and there should be understanding in that department. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have to have a schedule, and I don't like schedules because, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it needs to be spontaneous. But you should be able to look back over the period of 2 weeks, 3 weeks worth of time and say, well, you know what I'm saying, I took care of him enough. You feel what I'm saying? Enough towards him. Now, fellas, you gotta be understanding too. You know what I'm saying? Because mama be tired. And I feel you. Mama be tired, you know what I'm saying? You can't be putting in overtime every night. You know what I'm saying? Every other night, you know what I'm saying? It just don't work like that. Although I feel your pain, bro. I feel your pain, but you know what I'm saying?
The number one key, as you go back to it, is communication.
Communication and selfishness. You understand what I'm saying? If you're telling him no because of something that has to do with self, might be a little bit on the selfish side. If you're mad at her because she won't give you what you want, might be a little bit of selfishness. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be, I put it like this, there has to be an equilibrium. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be enough for him to be satisfied, but not too much where she's just overworked. You know what I mean? So there has to be understanding. Now, if you got this brother going 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month at a time, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Am I right? Unless there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? We grown folks, we have things going wrong. But if you going this long, yeah, you need your butt whooped. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women call men dogs, but you really pushing your man out into the streets. Let me let you touch on that a little bit.
Well, I think it should be like, say for instance, if he want it, I'm tired. He gotta do the work. If I want it, he tired, I gotta do the work. Sounds like a good plan.
Okay, I understand that. That's a good idea. That's good. You know what? It's been like that for a long time. I just not realized it. Working the hell out of me. But anyway, I'm just saying. But yeah, man, that's important. All right, we're gonna move on. This is gonna be the last topic. It's kind of a double topic, but I think this topic right here get a lot of people in trouble. Should married people hang out with single people?
No, should they?
Oh, come on now. All right. And should married men have women friends? And should married women have men friends? Used to say birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? And when you first get married, you're going through the transition of learning how to be a married wife. Just same way with men. You're learning how to be a married man. You're learning how to go from the I to the we. You understand what I'm saying? So with that regards, I suggest that people who are newly married don't hang out with single people too much. For one thing, when you hang out with single people and your wife might have did something that day just to get under your skin. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing serious, but you might just, you know what I'm saying, vent. She was nagging me to that, this is that, other. Single person. See that? That's why I ain't getting married.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That's why, man, I'm single. I ain't got to worry about it. Now you got the negative stuff feeding in your mind. But however, if you was hanging with somebody that's been married 10, 15, 20 years, and you came to a brother like me and said, my wife was nagging, I'm saying, what's she nagging about, bro? She mad because I don't want to take the trash out, man. I was working all day and I just came out. So, well, you know, that's what we have to do sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Even when we tired, we got to do what we got to do. That's the difference in the mentality, the difference in between having single friends versus having married friends. Now there's also another note you can look at, because you can be hanging around a person that's married but have a horrible marriage. You see what I'm saying? See, people with horrible marriages, they tend to give horrible advice. You see what I'm saying? So you want to surround yourself with people that have successful long-term marriages. You see what I'm saying? It's just like with business. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you hanging around friends that are not concerned with business, not concerned with elevation, not concerned with growing, and you're hanging around them, then, you know, Steve Harvey said it like this: if you got 5 broke friends, you're going to be the 6th one. You see what I'm saying? If you got 5 successful friends that's got multiple streams of income and millionaires, you'll be the 6th millionaire in the group. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of all these things when you're hanging around with people. All right? So that's my take on being hanging around single women. What do you think about it?
The same thing, and I also think that when you're vulnerable, it's more easy to do the things as a single person does. You know, the different conversations, just different things that the single people talk about that married people shouldn't talk about, or married people shouldn't interact with.
Yeah,
you know,
you shouldn't even entertain some ideas, you know.
Yeah. But sometimes it's not bad, because sometimes you being married and you have single friends and you talk to them and show them that relationship, it can work out, you know, and you have good advice for them as well.
And as well as sometimes, you know, you have long-term friends. You know what I mean? You just have long-term friends that have been friends since high school and things like that. So I don't think you should just altogether cut them off. But you know, when you first get married, man, you're supposed to really just go into that little shell, and it's supposed to be about you and your sugar bear. Not my sugar bear, but your sugar bear. You feel what I'm saying? You're supposed to kind of just cut yourself off from the world. That's what the honeymoon is all about. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about a honeymoon for, you know what I'm saying, for a good 30 minutes, because the idea of the honeymoon is for you to separate yourself for a year's time. You know what I'm saying? And some of our African traditions, you know, our Hebrew and African traditions, when you get married, that first year, that man's supposed to take off of work. He's supposed to be to saved up enough money and got his finances in a situation where he get married, he could spend a year with just his woman. That's the honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about going out on trips. It's just about y'all bonding. You know what I'm saying? You got to bond and learn each other. You know what I'm saying? And become family oriented. You feel what I'm saying?
And your friends have to also be able to respect your marriage.
Oh man,
they can't respect your marriage.
No, we can't start on that. That's a whole nother
different topic.
Whole nother topic. Now let's go to the last topic, right? Opposite sex. Should a man have female friends? Should a woman have male friends? I'm gonna let you talk first.
I don't think so.
Okay, break it down. Why?
Because it can lead up to more things and feelings. You can have different feelings. It's just not safe. I feel like it's just not safe.
Yeah. Because if your husband not being romantic and you telling this male friend that you need romance in your life, and your husband ain't the whoop the whoop whoop whoop, you know what I'm saying? He could easily, you know, not even knowing it, will like try to get you to go out with him. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa with the women. You know what I'm saying? If both of y'all find yourself in a vulnerable situation, you know, it could lead to a horrible situation. So, you know, I agree with you to an extent. Here's my take on it. If I married you and you had a bunch of guy friends when we first got married and y'all grew up together, then that's something I gotta accept when it comes to you. However, I don't expect you to continue to make more guy friends. You understand what I'm saying? I don't expect you to continue to make more. All right, you just met some dude at the basketball court. Y'all finna go hang, and you married now. You feel what I'm saying? Because your mentality should be family first. You know what I'm saying? It should be family first. Same way with the guys. If this guy had a couple female friends who grew up from the block with, and y'all been friends all this time, and the whole time you was dating leading up to the marriage, you was hanging out with these friends, these female friends, I don't think you should cut them off. But now at the same token, you know, you started a new job next week and there was this chick up in there that you feel like was cool, you want to go shoot some hoops with or shoot some pool with. Nah, that's out of order. You know what I'm saying? You out of bounds on that one. You feel what I'm saying? Because it is the nature of a man to attract a woman. It's just the nature. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you're a good man and some woman wants to marry you, that means you're marriage material. Therefore, you fit the category for most women to want to be with you. And it might not even be your looks. It might be your charisma. It might be your style. It might be the way you take care of her. It might be the way you nurture her. You feel what I'm saying? And then you come around one day talking about she ain't gave you none or whoop-de-whoop because she been tired. I'm just saying. These are the things that happen. That's why a lot of marriages end up in divorce. You know what I'm saying? Are dealing with a lot of hurdles that they have to go over because they don't knock this stuff out before they get married. You know what I'm saying? But these are some of the things that I feel like we need to start off discussing about marriage that can make you make or break your marriage. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all like this Teddy Talk, man, give us a thumbs up, like, or whatever, comment, subscribe to us, and share it. You know what I'm saying? If we talked about something that your mate need to hear, and you really don't want to tell them, just go and link that video up to them. Right. Let us talk to them about it for you. You know what I'm saying? Me? No, I'm talking about the video though. Don't be talking about, can you talk to my husband? Nah, I ain't talking to, no, I'm just playing. But for real though, man, just continue to follow us and support us. Teddy Talk, we out.